Welcome to the channel. Leo never loses. You're about to see how I use the anchor system to crush NAV erosion, control drawdowns, and stay green in any market. This isn't a theory. It's real money, real trades, and a real plan to hit $1 million. Subscribe and share this with anyone chasing financial freedom. So let's break down this week's portfolio. So we're going to start down the line here. We're going to start with Connie. I have a few updates to make. So remember, every week I'm making new updates because I'm doing this live. So I'm making changes as we go along. So this is a new update here for the anchor system. Okay, my average is 755. She's trading at 724. She's 31 pips down. So anytime you hear me say the word "in the money," that means that my position is within 100 pips away from the price, whether it be up or down. So when I say "in the money," that's what I'm talking about. Okay, she's within 100 pips from my average price. So Connie is in the money. When will I buy her again? Simple. This is my anchor. 755, either 50 pips below, 75 pips, or 100 pips. Now remember, you got to make the call. Okay, if the low of the year, right there, the low of the year is 611. Okay, so it might not make it there. So you have to use common sense, right? I mean, you have to follow the system, but you got to use common sense when it's on the low of the year. So I'm going to try to go with 75, maybe 70, around the area because I don't want to miss her. But I'm still following the system. 50 pips, 75 pips, or 100 pips, okay? So Connie is in the money. She's within 31 pips. So let's move on to the next one in line here. Right here. Misty. Let's click on Misty. Let's see if she's in the red, in the green, or in the money. Misty. She's 82 pips away. Okay, she's in the positive, but she's 82 pips away. She's trading at 1950. My average is 1833. I did a whole bunch of buying. And I'm up 82 pips, but I'm going to call her the same, in the money, because she's within 100 pips from my average. So if she's with 100 pips from my average, she's in the money. So Misty is in the money as well, and I did a whole bunch of buying here. Right there, 25, 25, 25. I did much more than that. You know, I buy them in lots of 25. I've noticed when you buy them in lots of 25, your average goes down a little bit more than if you would buy, say, 100 at one time. I've been doing those tests, so I'm getting the feedback of those tests that I'm doing. That's why I'm continuing only buying on lots of 25. So if I want to buy 100 shares, I'll just buy 4 lots. Okay, so let's continue. When we check everything, let's continue now. TSLY. Let's go check out TSLY. She paid this week. So right here, 768 is the price. My average, 783. Okay, she's 50 pips away. She's in the money. Okay, again, she's within 100 pips. When you hear me say the word "in the money," that means you already know she's within 100 pips. So she's in the money. Okay, when will I buy her again? Same. 50 pips down, 75 pips down, or 100 pips down. This week, I got a payment from her. Small payment, but we'll take it. Right there. Right there. Right there. There's the payment right there. $526 they deposited it on this Friday, yesterday. Okay, that's the payment we got with TSLY. So let's continue down the line. Let's go to the next one. Okay, the next one is NVDY. Okay, let's go check out NVDY. NVDY is more than 100 pips, so she's not in the money. Okay, she's in the green. Why? Because she's, let's see, 1790. My average is 1583. So she surpassed the 100 on the way up. So if she surpassed the 100 on the way up, she's in the green. Okay. Now, if she surpassed on the way down 100, then she's considered in the red. Okay. So NVDY is in the green. She's up 207 pips. Okay. So she's in the green. And let me explain this, because I keep getting this when I say the word pips. Okay, I like to use the word pips in the anchor system, but 50 pips down means 50 cents. Okay, 75 pips down means 75 cents. 100 pips down means 100 cents, $1. Okay. But I like to use the word pips. I used to do that when I used to trade the Forex markets back in the day when it had a lot of volatility. And then it doesn't have as much, but I stay with the pips. So let's get that in. Every time you hear me say the word pips, 50 pips, that means 50 cents, okay? So let's continue to the next one. Yeah, the markets are getting better now. Last week it was a little rough. On Friday, the stress test, I passed it with flying colors. Look at my count already. Back to 54. So let's continue. USOY, this is a new position, so we're not even going to check, then I'm going to show you total returns. And then this one here, like I always tell you, JPST, that's my cash anchor. It reduces drawdown and adds stability and keeps my buying power. Okay, I used to have 101. I took out, I sold 25 to get some buying power. So now when she goes back down, I'll buy her back. So that's to have money there on the side. All right, I plan to push this at least to 5,000 shares. But that's my cash anchor. Okay. All right, let's continue. These are the new ones too. These are building. These are the new ones I got. Maybe a week and a half ago, maybe, or 2 weeks around. So right here, SMCY. Okay. My average, 1692. She's trading at 1670. She is 22 pips down. She's in the money. Okay. So when you hear me say she's in the money, she's within 100 pips, she's in the money. When am I going to buy again? 1692, either 50 pips down, 75 pips down, or 100 pips down. Okay? And that's when I'm going to buy again. And remember, in the anchor system, once I get them under control, okay, like this position here is under control, I will never deduct the distribution again, okay? I only deduct the distribution when they're not under control and I'm starting new positions, okay? That's the only time I deduct the distribution. Once they're in the green, meaning they're in the money, like this one, I don't deduct distributions anymore. I treat these like if they don't pay anything, okay? I go with the numbers, with the anchor numbers, okay? So keep that in mind. And if you don't understand some, you need to go through the other videos, okay? Watch the other videos. Remember, I'm doing this as we go along, so I'm making changes as we need to every week. Every day, daily I'm making changes. Daily I'm making changes, and I'm bringing them up to date. So the last one that we need to see here is model. So let's go take a look at model. This one right here, 2040, 1920. Okay, she's below 100 pips. But not only that, this position is in the red. Okay, and I'm going to explain to you why. This anchor, 2040, is no longer my anchor. Why? Because I used other anchors when she went down. Okay, right here. I bought at 1969. This was my old anchor. Then she kept on falling, and then I bought again at 1873. Okay, so you need to write this down. 1873 is my last anchor. Okay, so this is my anchor, 1873. So I will be buying either 50 pips below 1873, 75 pips, or 100 pips. This is my new anchor. This right here is no longer my anchor. Okay, now let's say she doesn't continue to fall and she goes back up. When will I regain this anchor? Well, for me to regain this anchor and use it again, she will have to go 100 pips above 2040. Okay, so 2140 and beyond. If she's able to do that, then this will become my new anchor again, and then I'll start all over again. 50 pips down, 75 pips down, and 100 pips down. Okay, but tell me if you understand this, and if you don't, ask questions and I'll try to explain it the best I can. But this is no longer my anchor. Okay, my new anchor is right here, 1873. We're going to go down 50 pips, 75 pips, or 100 pips. Okay, it's important that you get that. All right, and stop deducting distribution, because I had her in the green already. So do not deduct any distributions anymore. So let's continue. I think we went through all of them already. Okay. Now, right here, total return, right there. Okay. Now remember, Connie, she's in the money. She's in the money. She's in the money. She's in the green. Remember, she's above 100. Okay. So everybody else is in the money. All right. So that's how we're going to treat them from now on. Now, I want to show you this. If you don't have this here, well, here, look here. See here it says Top Guns, right there. Coinbase, Connie. These are the parents, right? I have them in order. Connie, Misty, TSLY, NVDY, all of them in order. Okay, you see, in order. So I could take a look at them right away whenever I want to. See how the parents are doing. Okay, so I have that in order. Now, here, right here, I have here index funds, right? Right here. And the VIX. This tells me how the market is doing, okay? Now, if you want to take a screenshot of this, YieldMax weekly. These are all the weekly right there. Okay, right there. These are all the weeklies. That way I keep a look at them. So take a screenshot of that if you're interested in that. And then, right here, when you see a capital A, that means she made the cut. These are all from the letter A from YieldMax that made the cut. Okay. And then, when you see a lowercase, capital, an A lowercase, these haven't made the cut. Okay, they're all in order. And then here, we'll go to B, made the cut. And then, lowercase, have not made the cut. And then we'll go to C. Made the cut. Fiat. I bought her. I have a few accounts. I have my own. I have 4 accounts, and I trade friends and family's accounts. So I have like 13 or 14 accounts altogether. So, anyways, I bought her in one of my accounts, and for friends of mine as well. Around, I'm gonna tell you how much I got. I got her at 282. Okay, this is a new. This one is good to start with if you're getting your feet wet here, because it's not that expensive, and it's making the tier. Okay, it's trading at right now at 339, and she's paying like she will be trading from 6 to 11. Okay, so this is FIA. So let's continue, and then letter C. These are the ones that have not made the cut. Okay, I also have them in order by price. You see. Lowest price and highest price. Very organized, everything. So I can just take a look at it and I know what's going on right away. So these are letter C that have not made the cut. Okay. And then this is letter D that have made the cut. Okay, all of these made the cut. And then this is letter D lowercase that have not made the cut. None of these have made the cut. Okay, and then okay, and then right here, round here, letter A. There's nothing on letter A because round here hasn't made the cut. Okay, and then lowercase, round here. These are all round here that haven't made the cut. Right there, all of them. Got a whole bunch of them, see? Right there. Okay. That haven't made the cut. Look how many. None of these have made the cut. Okay, so you could take a screenshot. That's round here. Okay. They are all weekly pairs, okay? And now here, Defiance. This is the one I have from Defiance that she made the cut. I have 76 shares, okay? She made the cut. And then Defiance, these have not made the cut. These are all weekly pairs right there, weekly pairs. These have not made the cut. And then these are monthly. None of them. Okay? These are monthly. They haven't made the cut. Defines as well. And then Granite shares. Let's see if I have any Granite shares. This one made the cut and Granite shares. Okay. TSYY. I'm going to buy her. I'm going to buy her pretty soon. This one made the cut. This is a 2X. I'm going to talk about this later when I buy her. Okay. But I'm going to buy her. She made the cut. And then these have not made the cut. From Granite. And then Kurt, nothing. And then these from Kurt have not made the cut. None of those. See, I have all of them. I want to fill my portfolio only with these high payers. That's all I want. I don't want anything else. Okay, I'm committed. I'm committed to this. And then Kurt, and then this is Rex. This one made the cut. And then Rex, these have not made the cut. Okay, these have not made the cut. And then these are monthly. And then these Rex are weekly. That weekly make the cut. This one has not made the cut. This is weekly. And then NEOs. None of NEOs made the cut. They're all here. Right there. None of them have made the cut. Okay. And NEOs. This one. Amplify has not made the cut either. And that's it. Okay? So there you have it. You could take screenshots of that. And there you have my portfolio. Total return. Doing pretty good again. Now these. You remember a few weeks ago when I had Connie? She was up over $4,000. Now, like I always tell you, I'm building this anchor system live as we go along, and I'm making the proper changes, okay? I'm going to make a change when this is my buffer right now. Misty, $1,000 buffer. NVDY, $1,600 buffer, okay? Connie had a $4,000 buffer. But they're volatile, they move. So she's down right now. Actually, she's in the money, 486. Now, I'm thinking next time I have a buffer of $5,000, I'm going to cut that buffer in half and see how the anchor system handles it doing that play. So whenever I have a buffer of $5,000, I'm going to implement that strategy. I'm going to cut the buffer in half. Okay, right now I don't have none of that, but I will. So those are the updates that I wanted to get in. And remember, like I always say, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is my anchor system, a strategy I'm developing through research, experience, and real results with these YieldMax ETFs and all these high payers. So if you're thinking about doing something similar, make sure you do your own research, trust your own process, and build a system that fits your goals. This one works for me. Very important. I get this in now. Anyway, you know what? It's time for my coffee. It's time to get my sip of coffee here. Ooh, so good. So good. So remember, like I always say, buy below your average cost. Okay? If you're starting out, deduct the distributions and buy there. Very important. Ooh, so good. Now, once you get your position under control, stop deducting distribution. Go with the anchor system numbers. So, anyways, I think I'm done here. So like I always say, may the winners be on our side. And I'll see you soon.